All right, so we are good to go. We first of all want to be just considerate of your time. We're going to be in and out of here in less than an hour. Just want to go over a few things to keep you basically educated on the 5 myths of fat loss primarily, some exercises that you can do that's going to help you to reach your goals, certain exercises you should do, the difference between strength training and cardio, just some useful information for you, and then how the Advocare products can help. And if you're currently on the cleanse or the 24-day challenge, the question I get all the time is, what is the next step? Where do I go from here, and how can Advocare help me? So talking about slimming down for summer, we're going to go off. All the slides are going to be shown for you guys watching at home. Phil and I are out, and you will be following the slides. All right, so what we're going to be covering tonight, the 5 myths and lies about fat loss. We will go over the 24-day challenge very quickly. A lot of you are already familiar with it, but we'll touch upon it because some of you are just doing the 10-day cleanse and really what's possible going forward with Advocare. There are 5 variables of fat loss and some things that I like to discuss. And the first and foremost thing that I always like to talk to you, especially women in particular, you know, Phil and I were talking earlier about the women that would go into the gym and they're on the treadmill and they're on their elliptical and they're like, I've spent 45 minutes, an hour on the treadmill. I worked out so hard today. When at the end of the day, if you see them a year later, they're going to probably look exactly the same because what they're not incorporating into their lifestyle is strength training. It's so very important. So really the whole thing about aerobics, you know, it's kind of a myth. Cardio is necessary, but there's a certain way that you should be doing it. And as a certified personal trainer, I feel I'm completely educated to help you with that and help you understand how you should be doing your cardio and what's best. But really at the end of the day, we need to focus on strength training. Intensity is the key when it comes to strength training. You don't want to be doing 50 reps of 5-pound dumbbell curls either. If you're going to do a set of 12 reps, you want to start to get tired by 8 or 9. I mean, you want to start to really tucker out. So you need to be intense with your strength training, and always be challenging yourself on your weights. When things start to get a little bit easier, you need to bump up the weights. At that point in time, you may have to go down in your reps. That makes sense too, right? But we always want to keep the intensity high. And there are some fitness moves that are a push-pull effect that are going to be your primary fitness moves. Obviously, my number one that's not even listed on here, it's kind of a joke. We all know it's burpees, right? But the reason I like the burpees, it has the squat and the push-up in it. I mean, you've got 2 out of the 4 in one move. You're not buying
maybe
it, are
one
you?
day until, you know, I get a little, it's just the most ungraceful thing.
You know what?
On earth.
I knew this was going to happen. Okay. But, you know, we got the squat. The squat's a lower body push move, okay? And everybody's familiar with the squat. You're working your lower body, your quads, your glutes, your hamstrings. But the beautiful thing about a squat, too, is that it's very much a functional move. You know, that's something, you know, every day I'm getting down for something, whether it be to pick something up at the gym or just, I remember all the times when the kids were little and you just have to get up off the floor. Well, that's a squat. Okay, so the thing that I like about the squat is not only how much of your lower body that you're using to do it, it's a functional move that you're going to do a lot during your life. So deadlifts are great for the hamstrings and the lower back. So many people have lower back issues. You know, imagine me holding a bar like this. You know, here's a basic straight-legged deadlift right here. Keep that back nice and straight, and then popping it forward. You are strengthening every area of the core when you do that. So then when you start to add some weight, we bring up the intensity, we take down the reps, keep increasing that weight. You are building an area that is so important later in life. You've got to have that strong lower back, okay? Push-up, everybody knows a push-up. There's different variations of a push-up. You could be on your knees, you could be against the wall, but again, it's that push move. So we always want that balance of push and pull. And again, push-ups just aren't chest and shoulders and arms. It's literally your entire body. It's your core, it's your quads, it's your hamstrings. So if you're going to work out effectively, be efficient, do these 4 moves. The last one, pull-up. A lot of women cannot do pull-ups That's why in the gym, they've got the lat pull down machines and assist machines to get you where you can eventually pull your own body weight. There's ring rows for CrossFit. You've got TRX, you know, there's so many different ways that you can work those lat muscles, that we strengthen these lat muscles, those fan muscles in your back, that eventually you'll be able to do that pull move. So if you get a good combination, if you just had these 4 exercises in your regimen every day, you could get a great full body workout. So now in regards to cardio, like I said, you know, I'm a runner. I don't necessarily think that steady state cardio though is the best form of cardio. I do it for a stress relief, and it makes me just relax. Honestly, it's just one of those things that I like to do. And but it's not so much for the exercise as much as it is to clear my head, because I think that that's important for overall wellness. Find something that makes you happy that you can clear your head. But if you want to look at cardio from a fitness standpoint, you want to look at something like a high interval intensity training, HIIT. You probably all heard that acronym before. And that is a way to do things quickly in a short amount of time. You know, Tabatas are really one of those things that I love to do, because you're going to do 20 seconds of work and then you're going to do 10 seconds of rest. And you might only go through that 4 times, okay? And it could, typically the way I do it, it's 2 exercises. I'll do 20 seconds of squat jumps, and then I'll take 10 seconds of rest, and then I'll do 20 seconds of push-ups, for example. I work really hard during that 20 seconds, and then I take a rest for 10 seconds just to recover a little bit, but not too much. And that's where the intensity comes into play. So you're constantly challenging yourself, you're challenging your metabolism, and basically we're looking at increasing our metabolic rate. What we want to do when we are at rest is to burn more calories. So HIIT training is going to allow you to do that. The third variable when it comes to fat loss is something that I obviously hold near and dear to my heart, and so does Phil, and that's coaching and accountability. Because as a personal trainer, I'm a coach, and I also have people held accountable to me. You know, Phil, same thing. He did powerlifting in the Marines. He knows all about coaching and accountability. And it's so important because, and Leslie, I'm sure you've noticed this as well. The one thing about being in small group training for me, for you, is the accountability. You know, at 5:30 in the morning that there's going to be your trainer and 5 other people there waiting for you. You kind of have to go, you know, show up. You know, you don't want to be that person, you know. So, and you don't know what you don't know. You need to have somebody to coach you, to help you through something. I know, Adrienne, you're working with a trainer on your side of town now, and it's completely changed your life because you have somebody that you have to check in with, you know. And that's, we'll talk a little bit later on how that relates to Advocare and how we're coaches with Advocare, because we never ever sell somebody a 24-day challenge without coaching them, okay? Everybody has had a coach. Michael Jordan had a coach. Tiger Woods had a coach. Everybody has. I have a coach. I have somebody that I go and I do CrossFit 3 times a year, and he kicks my butt, and that's okay. Every good coach needs a coach. You know, our human nature is to seek comfort and avoid pain, and that kind of goes against what I'm saying. And here you want to seek comfort with food and avoid the pain of working out, but at the end of the day, that's not going to get you to reach your goals. So the weekly accountability increases the likelihood of sticking to your progress by 2,200%. That's huge. That's huge. All right, number 4, really big on this, is nutrition. You can have the best workouts, you can have even the best supplements, but at the end of the day, the supplements and the nutrition, what you're eating, go hand in hand. You can't just do supplements and eat cake every day, you know, and vice versa. It's not going to work. It's about finding that full triangle of wellness, is what we call it in Advocare. When you have the exercise, the fitness, and the supplement and the food, that's all together, okay? It's very important, and it starts with water. Water, at the end of the day, if you can get in a good, I like to tell people 100. Some people say a gallon. That's just can be really hard to do. If you can get anywhere from 80 to 100 ounces of water a day, that's good. You kind of want to be going to the bathroom every hour, okay? You're constantly flushing out the system that way. And I like to dispel the calorie myth. It's not so much, I've never had anybody count calories ever. And I've been in fitness now for 5 years. I don't count calories. Why would I have somebody count calories? It's not how much you're eating, it's what you're eating. Because at the end of the day, you don't have to count the calories. You know when you're full, and you know if you slow down that you're gonna get full. You don't want to eat really, really fast. You know, it's about the food that we're putting into our bodies more than the amount. And obviously, yes, if you go overboard, you are going to see it in the way that you fit in your jeans. However, if you just take a step back and focus on the foods that you're eating rather than how many calories you're taking in, because at the end of the day, 300 calories in a slice of pizza and 300 calories of broccoli are two completely different types of foods. And we know which one of those is going to expand your waistline. Okay.
How do you eat 300 calories of broccoli?
Well, I wouldn't. As an example, I mean, that wouldn't be any fun for anybody around you.
No, it would not. It would cause other issues.
I love you. The 20 to 30 grams. This is Phil. He reminded me of this today, actually. 20 to 30 grams of protein in the morning before your feet hit the floor, man, is going to bump up your metabolism throughout the day. And that's what we're kind of talking about, is what can we do to make that metabolism go all day long. And that was a great point. I'm glad that you brought that up today, because I sometimes, forget about that. So I'll put in that scoop of protein powder maybe in my oatmeal. That way I get the good carbs, because like I said, carbs aren't the enemy. It's the carbs that you're eating sometimes that can be the enemy, right? And then this is really an important fact here. Each pound of lean muscle burns 30 to 50 calories per day at rest. So when you're at rest and you're not doing anything, you're burning calories by having more lean muscle mass on your body than fat. And, and that's why some people, it's hard for them when they see somebody in fitness and people that work out, I get all the time, people are saying, you eat so much, Debbie, you're always eating, and I'm like, well, I'm always hungry because I'm pretty active, but over time, my lifestyle has conditioned me to have a higher metabolism, a high metabolic resting rate for that. And so my body's just kind of always working overboard because of the nutrients and the supplements that I'm putting into it in addition to my active lifestyle. So you want to be eating about every 3 hours a day, something small, nice combination of protein, carbs, and good fats. So
that's where a lot of people go wrong.
A lot of people go wrong because they don't feed themselves, and then they're starving and they're like this, right?
Yep. Yeah.
This is where supplementation comes in. It's really an accelerator for what you're doing, and you're going to get better results. When Phil came to me in my group fitness class years ago, when I was still at the gym before I even had my business, he looked at me and he was like, I think I have something that you would like, that, I was getting in better shape. I was feeling good. He's like, I have something that could just help you. Why not speed up the process? At that time I was, 35, I'm almost 41 now. And it's one of those things where I'll do anything to help, it makes me better. If it's going to give me better results, it doesn't mean I'm going to slack on anything else I do. I just want to have something that's going to make me better, have more energy to be a better mom, give me better sports performance, so that I can do the half marathon under 2 hours, because quite frankly, if I didn't have the supplementation, I wouldn't be able to achieve some of my goals as easily, and at this, why not have something to be a little bit of a competitive edge, So basically supplements are just like anything else in your life. Do you take a shower? Do you brush your teeth? You got to take your supplements. It just falls right in line with that. So.
All right. Well, we're going to cover a little bit about the Tendon Cleanse, which you guys have currently tried or are currently on. And then the other portion, which we like to call the life phase or the max phase. But before we do that, my favorite part is stories and honestly how it's really changed people's life. Most of us, we start with 10-day cleanse or 24-day challenge. And that's kind of where you started, right, Grant?
Yeah.
Will you kind of just share with us a little bit of your journey so far with Avocare?
Yeah, sure. I started December 2013. As my first 24-day challenge. Did the cleanse 24-day challenge. Total lost about 32 pounds. Now that's, it's not all fat. Some water. You can't lose 32 pounds of fat in 24 days. But I just progressed from there. It's been a year and a half I'm down 98 pounds technically. Was down 100 at one point, but
Now we're building some lean muscle, baby.
yeah, we are. We're trying to anyway. So it's just been, it's been huge. It was the Kickstarter. Obviously, that's what started this whole thing.
And do you live in a place where you have a kitchen and everything else? or-
I live in a dorm, so
Okay.
I live in a 2-person dorm. I have a microwave and a mini fridge. There's no stove. There's no anything. I eat either pre-cooked meals or I eat at the or I eat what the school has. Just make your smart choices. Keep your supplementation, and it can take you a lot farther than you ever thought it would.
Absolutely.
You know, and I'm so proud of him because it's one of those things where if he can do it in his dorm room, you know what? You know what?
We don't have
We got nothing. He wins, right?
Yeah.
He wins. So.
Yeah. Definitely makes prepping a lot harder, I'm sure. I am absolutely a true believer in these products. My wife brought these home almost 4 years ago. I was injured in Iraq in 2004. I had a mortar explosion blow me off a roof. I have 6 screws in my left shoulder. I have 3 crushed discs in my back. I have shrapnel in my hip, and I have severed tendon in my leg. And so for me, I just thought I was always active, was a competitive powerlifter, I was a martial arts instructor in the Marine Corps. I just, played some college football. So I was just like, I'll just keep eating the same. And even though I'm not working out, I now was doing construction. So I'm sweating. I'll keep the weight off. My wife came home one afternoon and was like, we're doing a 20/40 challenge. I didn't want to. She already spent the money. She's like, let's just do this. So very similar to Graham, Grant, sorry, not Graham. Jumped on the 20/40 challenge, lost 26 pounds in 24 days. For me, I hadn't seen results like that in a long time. And we had tried a lot of different programs. So I was super intrigued. But my wife, she was at a size 12 when we got married. And she said, hey, look, the only thing I heard across the board about Advocare was energy. And we had a 9-month-old at the time with colic and acid reflux who didn't sleep. So we needed energy in our house. So that was her primary reason. But she's gone on to lose almost 40 pounds. She's at that 4 to 6 after becoming one of Debbie's divas and really cranking out that program. And what happens when you lose that much weight? Well, she gets pregnant again. So
4 weeks to go.
yeah, she's got 4 weeks for our 4th. She actually was having contractions last night, so we'll see how this goes. But for us, the products have truly changed our life. At 29 years old, I was on 5 different medications. I was at 335 pounds. I've currently lost over 100 pounds. It's given me a new life with my kids. It's given me freedom to walk away from some of those medications because of the weight loss. And it's really given us an active lifestyle, doing things the Marine Corps told me to never do again. Did a half marathon with Debbie last year. So the products have absolutely changed our life and really kind of given us a new look to what's possible. The products I like to mention a little bit about our doctors. This is not Debbie and I formulating the products and packaging them in her garage. These really do have some of the top nutritionists and doctors in the entire world right now working with our company. And my wife and I got to just meet Stanley Dudrick over on the left-hand side just 3 weeks ago in Texas. And he is the individual who invented TPN, which is the nutrition that goes into the IV feeding tube. The man who actually kept my niece alive at the beginning of this year for 47 days in the NICU. We would have never got to meet her or hold her or even be part of her life without his invention. And he says, look, I will only work with Advocare. They have the same standards that I have, decided to change my life and turn my life into. He's like, but they also help us work with people on the proactive side instead of the reactive side when people are already getting sick. Because you're going to pay for your health care on the front end or your back end. And he's like, I really love that they're not going to stain my reputation. They're not going to mess with anything that I've built, because he still is an active affiliate with his hospital and also works to help develop our products. And you guys feel free to check any of these out. We have a Buckeye right there, William Kramer. He's the head of kinesiology now at Ohio State University. But a lot of people wanted Debbie, the Gail over in the corner. She now heads research in gastroenterology and probiotic and fiber and what it does and how good it is for the system, which I know are two of Debbie's favorite products. So I like mentioning that because I want you guys to make sure that you guys know that these products really are safe. But that also leads into our athletes. Advocare does something different than any other company. Most companies, we look for somebody that can, they've got a great reputation on the field and they can do something, we sponsor them. None of our athletes are cash endorsed at all. They actually turn down nutritional cash endorsements to work with Advocare. And if you ever meet or hear these individuals talk about Advocare, it's because they want to set the standards in their industries. Rich Froning, the CrossFit gentleman there in the corner, he's a 4-time fittest man in the world. He wants CrossFit to be the safest, most tested industry out there. Drew Brees and Jason Witten, they want young high school athletes to know that they don't have to cheat. They don't have to take banned substances. They can do it the right way, through hard work, through supplementation, safe supplementation. Well, what puts us different is we're the only company in the world. We use this green company in the center, the green check mark, informed choice. We're the only company that tests for banned substances from high school all the way through the Olympic level. We're not going to be Olympic athletes, but what it does is it tests for banned substances, impurities, and tests for product quality and purity, which is huge to make sure that what I'm putting in my wife's system, who's pregnant, or my children as they're growing up, I want to make sure it's safe and it's tested and it's not going to be anything that's going to damage them.
I don't want to associate my brand with anything that's not going to be safe, because I
Absolutely.
care about my clients way too much to ever not know what they're putting into their body. And that was a big thing for me with Advocare is, you know, I'm training these people. I want them to be their very best, but I need to make sure that I know what's going into their body.
Yeah. One of the supplement industries that have, my wife and I have been doing this for 4 years. They've asked us, hey, do you want to do this company with us? And show me your testing. Show me where your products are safe. You can go online to informedchoice.org and you can check when the last batch of Spark was tested. You can see where it's tested to these standards. And that's what I like about it. It's not just left up to our company. We really do have the third-party testing and doing stuff for us. But you guys, so our flagship program, 80 to 90% of our people start with this program because of what it does for your system. So the first 10 days, the idea is good, clean nutrition. If you're working with Debbie, it's fruits, veggies, lean proteins. You're learning your proper portion sizes. We're wanting to focus on body composition, not just fat loss. You know, as she said before, we're not wanting to be, you know, the person that a year later looks the same. We're wanting to keep and build lean muscle tissue. You saw that statistic, 2 pounds of lean muscle. Well, the average person in the first 10 days drops 2 to 3% body fat and increases 1 pound lean muscle. Well, that's increasing, you know, 400 to 500 calories burned a week just with that extra pound of lean muscle. So that's the idea. So the first 10 days, we start with the fiber, the herbal cleanse, and the omegas. What I love about our new 10-day cleanse system is everything's the exact same for 10 days. There's no changing back and forth. There's no confusion. We are doing the same thing. So fiber in the morning with our Spark, unflavored. You can just drink and go.
Probiotic.
Yeah, probiotic. So we have a patent on the probiotic capsule. Most probiotic dies in the stomach acids and does not make it into the intestinal tract to feed the good microbiotic or microorganisms that are in our intestinal tract. Ours actually gets activated by the stomach acid and releases into the intestinal tract where it's supposed to go. So making sure that we're feeding our system the right way. Even the same thing with the fiber. The average person in the United States needs 25 to 30 grams of good, healthy fiber into their system. Most Americans are getting 10 to 15. So we're starting our day with a good 10 grams of fiber, good, healthy fiber for our system, get our system functioning the right way. And then we go into our evening. Everything else is maintained through your clean eating program. And that's why Debbie's rocking with you guys. You guys get the great Facebook pages going back and forth. We're going to go to the evening. We're going to have dinner, and we're going to have, typically ladies have the 4 omegas, guys have the 6 omegas. The idea is good fat in, flushes bad fat out. It also helps relieve inflammation in your joint system. And then it's great for your hair, skin, and nails. My wife's hairdresser, I have to say that. So, and Spark. We call it Happy Mommy Juice in my house. If there's only 1 scoop of Spark left, Daddy's not getting it. So Spark is always happening. The idea behind Spark is turns the brain on, the body follows. So 21 good vitamins, minerals, feeds the brain and still replaces a little bit of our caffeinated beverage, but just enough to get us going. But we don't want jitters. We want to make sure that we're functioning the right way. We can multitask better. And that's part of the reason why we call it Happy Mommy Juice. You know, we got 3 little ones running around right now with a 4th one on the way. We need to get more stuff done. So then we move into the next phase. So this is our life phase. Part of the reason we call it the life phase. This is what most of us live on after the 24-day challenge, but we can make some tweaks. So we'll kind of cover that here in a minute. But we start our day with Spark, our meal replacement shake. I think this is one of the areas that Debbie and I pretty much agree on. This, for most of us, this is a problem meal. So if we're busy that morning, instead of me skipping breakfast, I'm taking the shake. 24 grams of protein, 24 grams of good healthy carbs, a little bit of fiber to keep us full longer. We've got a few different flavors to make sure that people get the different varieties, but originally flavored by Haagen-Dazs, tastes phenomenal. But it's just like my mom is a nurse at Ohio State. She takes those in the afternoon because she has no time between patients. She's got shake and go. For me, it's normally good breakfast, but in the afternoon, if I'm running around doing meetings and stuff, I'm gonna take a shake instead of hitting the drive-through like I used to do. It's just making better, healthier choices. And then M&S, our metabolic nutrition system. We just call it a bucket of nutrition. That really makes up where our food leaves off. So we're gonna get some probiotic, we're gonna get some good calcium, we're gonna get the multivitamin in there, we're gonna get a little bit of metabolism booster, and a little bit of appetite control in there. And there's 3 different formulas. You got maximum energy, maximum appetite control, and then the best combination of all 3, appetite control, energy, and wellness. And then there's the newest one, it's called Core. It has no stimulant in it at all. So there's no appetite control in it. They want to make sure that people just want the vitamins. So a lot of my athletes and stuff that I'm working with, they just take that one just to focus on that. We're going to go into a little bit about what's next. So average on 20/40 challenge, 10 to 12 pounds weight loss, if weight loss is our goal. But we're going to take our absorption from 10 to 20% up to 80 to 90%. So that means everything we're putting in our system is going to work better for us because we'll detox our kidney, our liver, and regulate our intestinal flow in that first 10 days. That's why this stuff is just key to really start going.
That first 10 days really is key. This is something that we do quarterly, actually, just to reboot our system. So that's something we do quarterly. And, you know, it's so many times people are like, you know, it's not all about the weight loss. And that's not really what we promote. It's not about the weight loss. But I can tell you I'm on day 9 and I'm down 3% body fat and I'm actually up a pound. Okay, that's good. I like that. You know, I'm very happy. I've been really hit hard in the gym because I'm not running anymore. Like my results might be completely different than somebody else that needs to lose weight, but I regained my energy. My sugar cravings are gone, but I also, you know, got rid of 3% body fat in 9 days. I'll take that because that just means that I'm getting leaner, which is what I want. I'm getting leaner and I'm gaining lean muscle mass. And that's just from focusing 9 days on my nutrition, getting in the fiber, the good omegas. Okay, so it's definitely a little bit of something for everybody. And, you know, so why a lot of you are here tonight, it's one of those things. So what do I do now, Debbie? You know, the cleanse is over. Do I go into this phase? Do I think, yeah, maybe shakes are going to be something that I would be interested in when I'm on the go? Yeah, I always have one in my gym bag. The M&S, the vitamin system, is absolutely phenomenal. But we have some amazing add-ons that that I feel are an absolute must, especially for women. Catalyst. It's a branched chain amino acid. I mean, this is the best thing in the world.
I take every day.
Multiple. I mean, I take 3 in the morning, 3 in the afternoon. But I guess I reference women because that's 90% of my clientele. and they fight me on it. I'm like, we're in here building muscle. You want to protect it now because a lot of my clients, you know, they're still looking to lose weight. But the problem is you're losing weight and you're going to be losing your muscle too. So we need to protect it. So Catalyst is really huge for that. Thermo Plus is a great thermogenic. If it's going to have me burn an additional 300 calories a day, give me a little bit of energy, pop a couple of these with 3 Catalysts before a workout. That's my pre-workout. I don't need to drink a pre-workout. You know, I've already had my Spark in the morning. You know, I don't need the extra calories from a pre-workout that they're going to try to sell me at GNC that's going to be recalled later because I'm going to get the shakes. No, I'm going to do this. I'm going to take this route, you know, but then there's also those times where I want to go out and I want to have some pizza and I want to have some wine and I don't care, you know, that's my lifestyle. I'm not going to be eating clean all the time, but even when I'm out and I'm having my treat meal, I can have a supplement that's going to block some of that fat, okay? It's just a carb blocker. It's not for everyday use, but you know what? It makes me feel better than I can go out for a cheat meal and not call what our friends call a pizza hangover. You know what I mean? And then we have this great new one that, honestly, I haven't even tried it yet. It's that new. It's called Crave Check, and it's basically to support appetite control, get rid of cravings. So this is brand new. I'm looking forward to trying it. Have you tried it yet, Phil?
So the idea behind that one is they were working with a company and testing some of the herbal ingredients. But as you eat some of these foods or we crave some of these foods, our insulin glucose levels, they're spiking. and then our body's starting to store things as fat. So this is helping to block our body from the insulin and the glucose level spiking, so kind of keeping it an even keel, and it's a sustained release, so we can take one in the morning and one in the afternoon, and we've got that full day of craving control. And that's kind of the idea behind it, because some of the other ones and some of the blockers, they have stimulants in it, and they wanted to make sure, hey, if we've got other stimulants other places, we want to do this in a better way. For me, I've already seen with a week worth of use, I'm normally if I can see the fridge, I might be in the fridge, and I've been good. And I've been traveling. That's normally rough for me. I just don't pack food well when I'm traveling. And I was gone in Florida for 5 days, and even there, I was prepping correctly, put the stuff in the mini fridge, and was doing a good job. So and then the only difference is for me in a week has been that crave check. So that's been a big one for me. I would promote the workout program, but you guys want to be using Debbie. But the reality is, if you can't use Debbie, it's still a great program. So,
You know, we also we've covered the shakes for if you want to continue on your weight loss journey. We covered the MNS and the meal replacement, but I really want to take 30 seconds to say that we've got some great supplements for sports performance and building muscle. That's the beautiful thing about Advocare. What are you doing next? You know, for example, Grant, he's lost his weight. He's trying to build muscle now. We need him on the muscle gain. We need him on that arginine. You know, the mass impact, if he feels that he needs a little extra something for a pre-workout, that maybe the Spark's not doing it, maybe you were up late studying the night before, you know, that's when he can do the mass impact. The post-recovery is great. The nighttime recovery is wonderful. So those are when you just have that, you know, you're in your zone and you're working out hard. Let's get the maximum, efforts from the performance. And then something as a runner, the Rehydrate Gel and the O2 Gold, I don't even know what I did. Why would I take goo? You know, why would I take some goo that I'm going to buy at the shoe store whenever I have this amazing Informed Choice Rehydrate Gel? It's not just about weight loss. It depends on where you are in your journey. Could depend on what supplements the final destination.
The virtual coaching, you want to touch a little bit on your Facebook group and why you guys...
I just found Facebook is the present and the future. So whenever I have a challenge group, and pretty much all of my distributors do the same thing, it's easy to coach people through a private group on Facebook. You can get a lot of information from other people, recipe ideas and everything. But if you aren't as maybe Facebook or computer savvy, the beautiful thing is that Advocare gives you so much accountability. They've got a virtual coach. They've got the app on the phone that tells you exactly how to follow the cleanse and then how to follow the days 11 through 24 if you take that next step in the cycle. So it's constant support. You get a daily guide whenever you purchase the 24-day challenge, so you always know what you are supposed to do. So you're always going to be coached.
So the two things that Advocare does, and I believe that we work in our country's two biggest problem areas. We work in health and we work in finances. And, we test, or we just let you guys know a little bit about what's possible with Advocare. So the very first level, retail. Debbie liked retail. She bought retail from me for 6 months? But honestly, my wife and I, we needed discounts. So number two, $79 with tax and shipping, whatever your zip code is, it buys you 20% off the products. It gets you an extra $60 worth of products. So it's Spark and Slam, so Spark on the go. What I love about that is there's no auto ship, there's no mandatory reorder. You literally just get a discount membership. And if somebody comes and buys product from you, you can make 20% off of any order that they purchase from you. So it allows you to make a little bit of money in the process, get some of your product paid for, but immediately gives you a discount, gives you your own website so you don't have to wait for Debbie to have product in or anybody else. The products are right there, shipped right to you. And without those auto ships and reorders, it really allows you to kind of pick and choose what you want to do when you want to do it. The distributor, that's anywhere between a 25 up to a 40% discount. 40% discount is the best discount you can get. But just somebody who's just, hey, look, I want the best discounts. Like my father, hey, I don't want to do the business. I just like the products. And if they work out well for you, they're going to work for me. I just want to get the products at the cheapest way. And then they can sit at whatever discount level they want and just enjoy that. And then there's level 4. And that's where Debbie and myself are. For us, it's just kind of a mindset. It's just a difference. If we wanted an extra opportunity, an extra stream of income, something to be able to help our family without taking us really away from our family, and just kind of adding into what we're already doing. And it really provides a team opportunity to really be able to work together with other people. Sorry, making sure these slides are advancing. I want to make sure that, oh man, see, it's hard for me to look at some of these pictures without getting emotional. So 4 years ago, when the products came into our life, we were physically bad. Financially, I had just lost my job, so second career had ended for me. So that was the 2009-2010 crash. I worked in real estate, and I worked for a family member. I was a construction manager, and I worked for him for free for 2 months, trying to keep their family out of bankruptcy. But my wife was due with our son at the time, and she goes on to unpaid maternity leave, and our family, we got stuck with 5 different properties on the market. I was flipping homes on the side, trying to really make extra money, and we got early foreclosure notice on our home, and then Advocare comes into our life. So she brought home this product and told me she had bought 2 24-day challenges, and I was mad she spent the money. I didn't want to do it, but she was worried about my health. So fast forward, by our 3rd month, my wife and I made almost $6,000 with Advocare. That was enough for me, because it was her thing in the beginning, and I'm like, I'm not interested. I'm trying to find a job, and I was on unemployment. I resigned from unemployment right away. I was like, hey, I think we found something. We're going to work with this. And it's different when you have to stay home with your children versus now you have the opportunity. Because fast forward, we just came up on our 4th year anniversary. It's allowed me to work anywhere between 15 to 20 hours a week. I volunteer 1 to 2 days a week at the kids' school. I'm coaching my son's football. And it's paid off over $75,000 worth of debt. And my wife's gone from working 6 days a week. She just called her boss this last week, and now she's going to go down to 2 days a week. She loves her clients. She loves spending time with them. And she gets a little mommy break away from all the kids. But it really has transformed our life financially and allowed us to really build a team and grow some strong friendships and stuff. And that's what I think my wife and I, our favorite part is really the relationships. And then that's kind of how we met Debbie.
Yeah, we met at the gym, and I didn't have any interest whatsoever in the business side of Advocare, like none. I was the ultimate skeptic. Like, I wouldn't even do the 24-day challenge. I was like, I might do the cleanse if you're lucky. You got 10 days. You got 10 days, bro. I'll give you my catalyst, I didn't want to be a supplement pusher. I didn't want to be selling vitamins out of the back of my car. I'm a professional, personal trainer. I knew I wanted to start my own business, and I didn't see this for my life, honestly, as something to make extra money. I truly didn't. And, but you know what, Phil and Becca, they still love me, where I was at that point in my life. And they're like, Deb, if you ever want to do it, we're here. That's it. And then in October of 2012, I started DRF, my company, my personal training business, and it was going well. I'm blessed. I love my job, and I'm like, this is awesome. Both the kids were in school. It was a little hobby, something I could do 3 hours a day, train a few groups, right, and make some extra money. However, in March of the following year, so literally right after I had started my company, my husband came home and told me that he had lost his job. We're talking a 6-figure retail job, and I'm a personal trainer, right? And that was huge. That was a game changer for us. And when you come home and your husband sits on the bed and breaks down in tears and tells you that he lost his job and he doesn't know what he's going to do. You got 2 little kids, that just breaks your heart. And I just made a point at that time where I'm like, maybe I just need to be a little bit more intentional about my business in Advocare. And I did that. And I sold 24-day challenges. And that immediately took me to advisor. He calls me one day. He's like, Deb, what'd you do? I'm like, I don't know. I'm just sharing a little bit more. I believe in the product. Let's just do. And I was at a time of a little bit of desperation because I wanted to help my husband. And quite frankly, I didn't want him to have to go back to work right away. And to me, Advocare gave us something so much more than just something to provide for my clients. It gave my family true time freedom and the opportunity for my husband to stay home for 9 months with the kids. because the kids were going to be out of school soon anyway. And I was like, you know what? I got this. I'm going to work. I'm going to take care of this. And he spent 9 months with our boys, and it was the best summer of their life. You know, that's something that you can't pay for. And it changed our life in that aspect, because Advocare really just took off for me. It gave me an opportunity to spread my wings, make some great friendships. It gave my husband time with the kids. You know, Audrey, you were with him at school in the summer when I wasn't.
We bonded.
You know, you saw him jump off that diving board. That was glamorous. But that's something, you know, that the kids, that's a story for later. It's hysterical. But that's something that when he ended up getting a job in January, you know what? He was able to take a significant pay cut, but it cut down his hours. He doesn't work the weekends. He takes the kids to school in the morning, you know, because I'm already at work, but I get to pick them up. They don't know daycare. They don't have any clue. Mom and dad both work, but now we have life on our terms. And so something that I never saw for myself, the fact that I had it in my back pocket, that's what I like to talk to people about, because you never know when you're going to be in a situation where you need to have something in your back pocket. And I oftentimes feel bad for people that don't just have something, a straw that they can grasp on, because it helped me in a time of need. So I love the supplements, but I do love talking about the business opportunity. I don't tell my story enough to people, honestly, but you know, it's kind of a personal thing. So I appreciate you kind of listening in, because it can get me a little bit choked up at times.
Thank you for sharing. So kind of touched a little bit about the income opportunity. There's 5 different ways to make income. That $79 discount membership immediately opens you up to the first 2 ways. So number 1, you know, somebody buys product from you. If you're a 20% discount, you make that other 20% from them. Wholesale commissions, if you're at 25 or 30%, and they decide, hey, I want to become a discount customer too, and they're at 20, you're at 30, you make 10%. You don't even have to do anything with them. They're just ordering products and using their discount, and you're still making that 10% income as they're continuing to order products. The last 3 ways are reserved for the people that go to that 40% income level. What basically 3 and 4 mean is that you have started to build a team that is doing similar to what you were doing. And for me, it was the first time in my life with construction and Marine Corps and everything else that anybody in my life had ever come to me and said, what do you want for your family? Here's how we're going to go do that together. It really is the first time I've seen where the people that brought me in actually go to work for me, teach me and train me, not like, hey, thanks for signing up, good luck. And that's what I have really enjoyed about it. Some of the relationships and some of how people have really gone the extra mile for us. And number 5, we get some great friends right now that are sitting they're sitting in Destin, Florida. They're renting out an entire resort for an entire family group. The trips are second to none. And there's, you know, companies have trips. It's more about, for us, it's about the bonding relationships and what it really does for you and the other teammates and stuff that are with you. And then this is how you kind of get to those different levels. So I'll just start with the top level, 40%, because it's the best discount level and it's the quickest way to get there. So basically, it's an investment of $2,100. And when I first saw that, I looked at my wife and I'm like, yeah, do you mind? We didn't have any credit card. But she's like, no, I have one. I have enough money. We can do this. But what it meant for us was, in the 24-day challenges, it meant 12 people, 6 couples doing 24-day challenges. And I knew enough people, we could fill a family room and talk to some people. So we did a 24-day challenge, group 24-day challenge, and basically received $3,000 worth of product. It wasn't like, hey, here's $2,100, thanks for getting into Advocare. It was all product in our family room. We turned around and sold it, and we made $900. So within 16 days, my wife and I went red to black. Our profit was back. You heard Debbie, hey, I got very intentional. I just started talking to a lot of people. I sold 24-day challenges. And that was at the beginning of her business. So it's not even like she had, you know, huge roots to be able to reach out in her industry. It was, I'm going to talk to friends and family that I know need more energy, want to lose some weight. But it doesn't have to be just in 24-day challenges. I just want to give you guys an idea. I had a bodybuilder basically do a 10-day cleanse and bought a ton of our black product, our sports performance line. I had another individual buy all $3,000 retail worth of Spark. He's like, I will be on this the rest of my life, so will my wife. We're in. Yeah, I'll just do that. So they want to do the business. But that is how you do the business opportunity, is when we help you get up to 40%. So let's say, hey, I'm sorry, that's just too much, but I know 5 or 6 people. That's exactly half. That's the next level down. It's 30%. So it's $1,050 is the investment. It's $1,500 worth of product comes to you. And again, there's a profit margin to be able to turn around and make some money. If anything we've shared at any of the levels really interests you, the discount level of the 25% is where I recommend most people start, because that 25%, it's 2 24-day challenges and 2 bottles of Catalyst with your membership. That actually puts you at the 25% discount level. And it allows you to start working your way to the 30 or 40%. And whoever either invited you on to the webinar, or, you know, if you guys have any more questions afterwards, we'll be able to answer. But again, I want to be respectful of your time. Or you're just like, hey, look, I like 10-day cleanse, I don't have a membership yet, or whatever. Debbie, Catalyst, and Spark, I love those products. That's it. That's what I want. 20% is still a great option, because within your very first order, it can save you money and already start you with the discount opportunity going forward. So, and that is a picture kind of a box of Spark and a box of Slam with the $79 kit up there to kind of give you an idea of what comes with it. And then this is just the last slide, guys. Do you have a plan? So we talked about the physical opportunity. You know, are you currently satisfied with your health status? I really don't know anybody still to this day that's like, man, I love the way I look and I feel great. It's typically, I like the way I look, but man, I'm tired all the time, or vice versa. I have energy, but I don't feel the way I want to look. And so that's part of what we do. We help people in that physical area with their energy level, losing weight or building some lean muscle. And are you happy with your current financial situation? I mean, you guys heard me share my story. I needed something. Who do you know that needs an opportunity, or can't stand their job, or works a second or third job that needs something? You get paid what you're worth. I love the Marine Corps, but after 8 years, I closed out my final year at $33,000, and I spent a lot of time away from my family. I spent 2 years in Iraq. I love our country, but that doesn't pay super well, to be honest. And then, are you going to do what you're doing the rest of your life? I know that I wasn't going to do what I was doing, and I know you love what you're doing, but you'd like to be able to pick it more on your terms.
Absolutely.
And then if you don't have a plan, then why not advocate? And I ask that in all seriousness, because it really has changed our life, and that's why we're really passionate about sharing with you guys. So thank you guys for joining us tonight. You got anything?
That's good. Thank you guys for taking the time.
All right.
Thank you, Philip.
Yes, ma'am. All right, so if you're online and you have any questions, please get with the person who sent this information out to you tonight.